There's no way to avoid or work around an offensive line that isn't any good. That's a shortcoming. That'll be a shortcoming unconditionally. But there is a way to maybe buy some time for a group that's younger, has potential and pedigree, and just kind of needs to, drum up some good vibes. Good morning to you. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Steelers. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into hockey and or baseball, I also offer daily shots on the other two teams in town that I cover, the Penguins and the Pirates. I hope you can check those out as well. The team was back on Chuck Noll Field yesterday for practice. I was on the sideline taking it in, all 2 hours and change of it. Mike Tomlin really pushed it with the cloud cover and other friendly components to the weather. And I tried, emphasis on tried, to focus on just the line and being even more specific on just the two tackles for what I'd hope would be obvious reasons. You know what you're going to get out of Zach Frazier. I think you know what you're going to get out of Mason McCormick. And there's no one there, obviously, with a bigger track record than Isaac Seumalo. So, the two tackles it was. This is no picnic under optimal circumstances at field level. I have no idea how coaches do it. I have no idea how anyone does it from down there. Doubly so when you're looking through or trying to look through others standing along that same sideline, meaning the player's sideline, not where the media is behind them. But I tried. I moved around. I'd position myself. I would focus just on Broderick Jones or subsequent play just on Troy Fautanu. Can't do both at once. And remember, no replays, no video. You see it or you don't. So here I went, Mr. Pseudo Scout, checking out the players, evaluating the players. And what I came up with to share with you, maybe even to impress you in some small way, is close to nothing. Oh, I saw Broderick. He missed a couple of, I don't want to say he missed a couple of assignments. He missed one assignment. And then another time on a running play that was supposed to go inside left tackle, he got spun around awkwardly and was facing in the wrong direction, which is never a good look for an offensive lineman. But otherwise, he was there. He was okay. He would have gotten, I guess, a C grade or something if you wanted to really put a football scouting gun to my head here. And Fautanu, I thought, was terrific, at least every time I saw him. And that was doubly true in the final drill, which was kind of a 2-minute drill. It was a hurry up, get down the field kind of thing in which he was lined up snap after snap after snap against TJ Watt and more than held his own. But you want to know what really happened on about, let me think here. Probably about 80 to 85% of all the plays on all the team drills through all of this practice. Those guys didn't matter. They didn't matter at all. The ball would get snapped to Aaron Rodgers, and then it would go wherever it was supposed to go. Those of you who know volleyball know what a setter is. They know that the setter doesn't hold on to the ball. The setter just gets it and just kind of bops it back up in the air for somebody else to spike. It's one touch and poof. And this wasn't all that different. Now, it's also no different than anything that Rodgers has done throughout his Hall of Fame career, including 2024 in East Rutherford. So all that's to be expected. What certainly was not expected on this day was that the rest of the offense would respond in kind. And what that means, this applies to the team drills that have been run in Latrobe and even the individual drills. Just a wide receiver or a tight end going out for a pass. When it's Rodgers, they have to understand that timing is everything. he has to get the ball out when he gets it out. And he has to get the ball out in a way that matches when you, the target, have to turn around. It's not optional. I asked Scotty Miller on the field after this session if basically he just needs to turn around and expect that the ball is like already there.
Yeah, you got to be ready. That's, I said, the biggest thing I noticed with him from playing with a bunch of different other quarterbacks is just the timing. You got to be, as soon as your foot goes in the ground, as soon as your head turns around, that ball is going to be on you. He can fit the ball into any tight window, which is part of the reason why he's so great. So you definitely got to stay on your toes and be ready.
It sharpens you in general, though, doesn't it? Including with your route running. Like, I'm thinking the goal line drill down there where DK had to turn around and go to the right, that was all timing.
Yeah, well, it just gives you such a big advantage over the defense because you can just rely on waiting and throwing it up, making a jump ball. But if you have a plan and execute and timing, it just gives you an advantage over the defense.
A difference for your line, too, you think?
100%. I mean, there's some creatures in this league playing D-end and D-tackle. So
on this team, too.
On this team, absolutely. We got some of the best in the league. So the quicker you can get the ball out, another advantage to us.
So, yeah, it's not just the wide receivers. It's not just the offensive line, which you heard me bring up there with Miller. It's even the running game. Caleb Johnson, on this day, looked like what we'd all been kind of hoping for from the moment he was drafted. Not that he was doing anything wrong beforehand, but there just weren't holes. There weren't opportunities. There was nothing remotely resembling a rhythm for this group. And now what you saw was Rodgers zipping it here, zipping it there, zipping it here, zipping it there, and then, oops, here's a handoff. And here's a guy coming right up the gut behind Frazier. And I'm going to say it again. This isn't going to be some sort of cure-all for the offensive line. This team didn't go out and spend $150 million on DK Metcalf so that he can run nothing other than short timing routes. Although he's been really good at those so far, I should add. They're going to need more out of this line, but they're also going to need for these guys to continue making incremental improvements over the first month, as I see it, of the season. That means 3 games plus Ireland and go into the bye week. If the big boys are feeling good about themselves on the bye week, very, very different outlook for this team. When we come back, J1Q.
This segment of Daily Shot is brought to you by our good friends at Mike's Beer Bar. They're located on Federal Street, directly across from PNC Park. Mike has more than 500 beers on tap, including from more than 50 local breweries. Stop in and say hello. Tell Mike we sent you. Mike's Beer Bar.
Today's J1Q comes from Michael, who says, DK, how you feeling about Aaron Rodgers? I still feel that Mason Rudolph at age 29 would be better than Rodgers at age 41. I have a few things to say on this, but I first want to point out here, in the interest of full context and disclosure for anybody who might be new to this show, that I spent the better part of the past few months really railing against this team relying on Rodgers for the coming season. I have since had some of the specific concerns that I'd raised at the time addressed, at least to this stage. For example, can he still throw? Oh, yeah. I mean, there were some throws yesterday alone that were, no, the arm is not an issue. The accuracy is not an issue. The dexterity, the slot selection for his angle, the timing, the everything, that's all there. Can he still get around the backfield? Not like he used to, but I don't see any limitations with the legs that would make me gasp or anything. Is he healthy? By all accounts, very much so. Can he stay healthy? No way of knowing that. No way of knowing that if he does get hurt, it'll have anything to do with his age. What's in it for him? I'd think he's done a pretty good job of explaining that to everybody in his various interview sessions. I've been a buyer of what he's been selling. And how's he been as a teammate? Everyone right now, including the entirety of the rest of the quarterback room, is raving about how he's carried himself as a Pittsburgh Steeler to date. So all of that's there. Here's what else is there. And this one's mostly aimed at those of you who are really into the whole let's evaluate training camp drills as if they matter, or as if they matter a lot. Rodgers hasn't just been the number one quarterback in camp, he's been the best quarterback in camp. And I'm not saying that out of any sort of recency bias, because Rodgers had a really good day yesterday. Mason didn't have as good a day, made an interception on an overthrow that you could tell he was kicking himself for out there, and rightly so. There was all kinds of badness associated with it. Mason's also made some plays in this camp. But you want to know something, Mike? I can talk about this until I turn purple, and then I can assess whatever it is that happens Saturday night in Jacksonville, or the following week, or the week after that, and none of that's going to matter either. The Steelers' call, Mike Tomlin's call to choose Rodgers to be his guy for the 2025 NFL season isn't going to be judgeable until after the 2025 NFL season, because there's only one objective here. And Rodgers is part of the reason that there's only one objective. So I'm not ducking you here, Mike. I'm just trying to lay out what my thinking is right now since you asked. And I did promise everybody this entire time that my mind would remain open. It has been, and it's going to continue to be. Oh, and before signing off on the subject of quarterbacks, Will Howard unfortunately was hurt yesterday. I saw the play. His hand got jammed up on a center quarterback exchange. He rolled out to his right pretty impressively, I thought, and fired a completion up the sideline, making exactly the kind of pass that I was saying that I hadn't been seeing from him early in camp. And as soon as he did it, I saw him do this thrashing move with his right hand as if something had gone wrong. And in fact, it had. He's expected to be out 3 weeks, which of course puts him out of the preseason, which really, that stinks. And I don't understate it when I say that, because one of the things I've been saying about Howard all along is that it would have been wonderful to see him in these preseason games in NFL stadiums against at least teams that are dressed like NFL opponents. And now he loses out on that, and the Steelers lose out on that evaluation. And now what you have for Howard is basically just a year of being the third string guy in practices on the South Side. And that's a loss. That's a loss for everybody. Anyway, I appreciate the question, Mike. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Steelers. Don't forget that we're now doing a double shot of Steelers from Latrobe, and we'll be doing another one today. Those have been going up around 5:30-ish, because that's how long the sessions and the availabilities have been going. But we'll try really hard to have it up around that time for you this afternoon. Hope you can join us.